I love Chattanooga. There's really not a better explanation for it than that. I've been here all of my adult life. I've raised my kids here. I've had my career here. I've spent 30 years in the nonprofit world here, and I know the city can do better. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and entrepreneurs hate one thing more than anything else, and that's wasted potential. And the city's got so much unrealized potential, and I think my highest calling is to make the city, see the city, live up to its potential. I grew up in a family where community service was just expected. It's just what you did. I went through Leadership Chattanooga here in 1992, which introduced me to the broader nonprofit community, and I've been volunteering in the community ever since. So I've got the perspective from a business and economic development perspective, but I've got a really broad perspective of Chattanooga from all these different angles through the nonprofit community. When I got back to Chattanooga, my dad put me to work selling used cars. You know, it taught me that nobody cared how smart you are. What matters is outcome, is what you do. Small business teaches you that intention is nothing without outcome. And I think that's why small business people really get better at organizational management and at really being focused on getting things done. It's been 16 years since we had a mayor who had a business background. And I think the city could stand a tune-up, very frankly, in terms of getting things done. My business background gives me an advantage in getting the right people in the right positions and holding them accountable to make sure that those great ideas actually get executed. The mayor of Chattanooga is actually the CEO of an organization of 2,500 people. It's actually the 9th largest employer in the whole region. You're electing the CEO of a large company, and that person needs to have management experience, real management experience and real crisis management experience. And I have that. You know, I led 2 car dealerships through brutal recessions and not only survived, but managed to kind of fall up and grow out of them. So I know how to do that. I know how to manage budgets in time of crisis, and I know when to double down and invest when the time is right. I've got a really clear track record of having done this, and I don't think anybody else in the race does. 311 could work better. The roads, you know, we should be paving more roads and filling more potholes. A lot of folks that live out in the suburbs a little bit, the only things they get for their tax money are public safety and you know, smooth roads. At a minimum, they should expect that. You know, in the nonprofit world, I'm always thinking about what's the root problem, what's the core problem. If we could fix one thing upstream that would fix the most things downstream for the long-term best interest of the community, what would that be? And there's more than one answer, but the best answer really is early childhood education. So public safety is one of those things you don't know you need until you need it, and it's critically important. It's the baseline of what you'd expect in city services. And the irony of it is the folks that are really calling for reform, if they really want a safer and more humane police department, we need to give our police officers a raise. I don't think many people realize just how progressive our police department is in Chattanooga relative to their counterparts at the county. The department here is well on their way to being one of the most forward-thinking departments in the country, and they just need the support of City Hall to see through some of these reforms that they know are necessary, and they're already working on it, very frankly. So one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but one of the most rewarding, was creating CFC with my fellow co-founders and friends. It was hard, right? It was really difficult to put together the business plan and the team on a tight timeline with very limited resources and do this thing, but to see it succeed and stand it up for the benefit of nobody but the people of Chattanooga, really, because it never made a whole lot of money. I mean, it was never about the money. It's definitely the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And in many ways, kind of that's what this is for me, is a reboot on that. It's doubling down on Chattanooga because I've seen what's possible through that soccer club in terms of rallying Chattanoogans around Chattanooga. And I think that's what needs to happen now. As we emerge from COVID, you know, we need to look to each other to really emerge from this thing stronger than ever. And we can, I know we can.